take two kinds of fighters, whether a boxer, MMA, it does not matter. But you have two fighters. One of them is talented. He has all the talent in the world that you could imagine. But he just kind of goes through training like, oh, you know what, I'm talented. Therefore, I don't need to try that hard. You know, I can take a few days off if I want. But the other one, he might not have the talent, but he has the perseverance. He's relentless. He's training every day. He's putting in the work, the hours, the everything. Which one are you betting on? Which one is a more dangerous fighter? Which one would you rather fight? The guy who kind of takes days off, but he kind of manages to get by because he's talented? Or the guy who just fucking takes action? Raw action, boom, boom, boom. Gym, gym, gym. Train, train, train. Fight, fight, fight. And he never stops. You see, it is that unstoppable, relentless pursuit. You just keep fighting, keep working, no matter the circumstances. That truly makes you dangerous. You know, there's so many people who are like, oh no, but I might not have the talent for this. You have big dreams, but you don't know if you have the talent. But you can still go and work your ass off and get it. You know, most people, they will never even try. Even the people who are talented, they won't put in the work required to actually achieve something great. I mean, how many people around you can you see that are, you know, they have some talent? They could be more, but they aren't because they're not fucking putting in the work. There's so many of those people. But you don't have to be that. You can be more. You can become super relentless and powerful by just taking action. You see, it is not the guy who has the talent, but it is the guy who puts in the hard fucking work that in the end gets the trophy. And that can be you. If you simply choose that, you know what, no longer will I be a loser who just sits idle and lazily looks around and waits for an easy opportunity. No, with hard work you can create an even better opportunity. You know, this is what people don't understand. They wait for opportunities. They wish that it comes easy. It just falls on their lap. Just like, you know what, maybe one day everything will click and then I'll just, boom, magically have the success. But the people with that mindset, do you see them, you know, being successful? Like if you go look at the successful people, no matter the realm, athletes, businessmen, whatever, are they the kind of people who just sit around, wait for it to just come around? Yeah. You know, the athletes, they just wait for the Olympics, and 2 weeks before the Olympics, they start training. That's when they start taking it seriously. No. It is the guy who trains for decades, 20 years before the Olympics ever even come around, who is then ready for that opportunity, who then capitalizes on that opportunity. Because by working hard, by putting in the hours and the dedication, they created the opportunity. You see, the Olympics will come around, but only one person will get the gold medal. And it's definitely not the guy who starts training 2 weeks before the Olympics because, oh, now is my chance, now I gotta train hard. But you're too late. You're too late. You have to be obsessed with whatever you're doing from the moment you are born. From the moment you decide, you know what, for the next 2 decades, I'm gonna dedicate my everything to this one thing and I will never stop, never give up, no matter the chances that I have of success, no matter how many obstacles and challenges come along the way, you will not stop. And that will make you dangerous. You know, but there's so many people, they just go around. They look around and they maybe even hear this. And they still decide, you know what? Nah. Not gonna do it. You know, they feel fired up for a moment and then they don't go to the gym. Because the motivation disappears. But you don't need the motivation. Who gives a fuck about motivation if you just take the raw action? Think about that. If you just do the action, even though you might not feel motivation, you still get the results. If you go to the gym, even though you do not feel like it, you do not feel like going to the gym, you do not feel like working out, you want to stay home, you want to stay on the couch, watch a bit of Netflix, but you don't. You still go to the gym and you just do it. You still improve, you still grow, you still get stronger, you still become more athletic, you still get fitter, you still get healthier. So motivation itself should not even be a factor in what you do. And when you realize this, you just realize, wow, I can just take action. I can just persevere and be relentless by taking action again and again, over and over, no matter what. Other people laugh at you. Haha, look at his physique. He shouldn't be at the gym. He's too fat. He's too skinny. He's this, that. Doesn't matter. Let them laugh. Let them think about you. Because every second that they're thinking about you and you are working, you're getting ahead. Every second that they're using, literally, their limited time, finite time on this planet, they are using thinking about you. You just won. You just won. You know, you might be working hard and everyone's laughing at you. Haha, he's putting in 12-hour days and he's not successful yet. But you just won. Think about that. If you go and achieve everything, you become the greatest human being ever. What is the price of that? People say your name. They think about you. You know, we think about Alexander the Great. We think about Napoleon because he achieved such great feats. But you can skip that. You can just work super hard, and when other people think about you, even though you're failing, you get the end result of success, which is that other people think about you. They say your name out loud. They're like, haha, did you see that John there was training hard? But lol, look at his physique. Did you see that, Bob, he's, trying to start that business. He's making content online. He's working 12 hours and he's not successful yet. But they're thinking about you. They're saying your name out loud. They're getting their energy and using it on you. You already reached the success because they're thinking about you. And so if you just take action, you just pursue that goal relentlessly, you will win. No matter what other people think, no matter what the circumstances are, you will win if you just take the action. This is the fantastic and absolutely most beautiful thing about life is that with just action comes everything. How you feel, what emotions you have, none of that matters. You see, if you are to go fishing, let's say, you go fishing at a lake. If you catch a fish, it doesn't matter if you smile, if you're angry, if you're sad, if you're depressed, if you're anything, it does not matter. You got the fish because you took the action of fishing. It does not matter. These things called emotions, they are just some imaginary things in our head. And you do not have to even pay attention to them. You can just take the action anyway. And when you realize that, you become dangerous. When you realize that, you start becoming the kind of man that people don't want to fight against. Those fighters that we talk about in the beginning. If you're the fighter who just fucking does it relentlessly, who just does it anyway, he does not care about if he feels like training, he trains anyway. He does not care if he's a bit afraid, anxious, stressed out, scared even of that fight. He's about to enter the ring, the cage, and face an opponent that is talented. Yet they don't care. They don't let those emotions stop them. They don't let the world stop them. And with that mindset, you can get ahead. With that mindset, you can achieve greatness. You see, it is action. It is the relentless pursuit without caring about feeling motivated, feeling any specific emotion that allows you to win. It is that simple. If you just become the guy who puts in the hours, no matter how they feel, if you just become the guy who just does the work, just takes the action, just fucking does it, you will be the ones to reap the rewards. That is truly the fantastic and the great thing about this world is that only action matters. Only action matters. And therefore, Even though someone else might be more inspired than you. Someone else might feel more fired up than you. Someone else might be more motivated than you. Someone else might even be more talented than you. But as long as you are the one who actually takes the action, you win. And so the choice is yours. Will you continue down the path of inaction, laziness, procrastination, down to a path where it's very crowded? It is very crowded, that path. A lot of people walk it. And therefore it also ends up in a crowded place called mediocrity, average, just like everyone else. Or you can be different. You can do the one thing that most people never do, which is action. Because everyone has big dreams. The differentiating factor is that some people actually go out and take the action to chase them. Everyone watches motivational content. Everyone does all these things. Everyone dreams about all the big things. They have ambitions and goals that they write down, and they said, you know what, this year I'm going to lose the weight. This year I'm going to do this. This year I'm going to start the business. But once again, the only thing that truly matters is the action. And if you do not take the action, all the planning, all the ambition, all the motivation is for nothing. But even if you don't have a plan, you don't have ambition, you don't have motivation, you feel like crap and you still take the action, boom! It is all there waiting for you. That is the differentiating factor. Action. Action makes you dangerous. Relentless pursuit and action upon action upon action, just putting in effort, hours, boom! Everything is there for the taking. This whole world, you can conquer. It is there. Napoleon conquered a lot of the world, so did Alexander the Great, and so did many other people. You are no different if you just take action. So go out there, stay disciplined, chase your dreams, and have a fantastic day.